I'm ready.
What's up, Chaval?
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm here with my friend and my cousin. My man Thomas is here.
Hello.
Last day in Argentina. How long you been here, bro? 2 weeks?
Yeah, just over 2 weeks. And it feels like it's been a long-ass time, to be honest with you.
2 months. You suffered through some illness.
As did you.
As did I.
Yeah, I'm not proud of the hand, foot, and mouth disease epidemic that I've brought upon this country. But
you think it's going to start popping out with the rest of the population?
It turns into like a whole ass epidemic in South America because no one has the antibodies.
I mean, I could see it, bro. I could definitely see it. I was getting worried people were going to see my hands and be like, you're the one who did it.
Yeah, I was worried about the same thing. But anyways,
yeah, so it was great to have you here, man, at the beginning of my journey, and just wanted to get you on the pod real quick. One thing to cement our time together here and have a piece of audio that we can have for the rest of our lives, as well as just chop some game with you before you leave. So
that's amazing.
I'm going to ask you a quick question, okay?
Okay.
Let's hear your rose and your thorn of the trip. I guess I can kind of think of what your thorn is, but
yeah.
Let's hear it, Chaval.
Okay, rose and the thorn. I'm going to say, yeah, the thorn is obvious because coming on this trip and expecting kind of like to get some good time at the beginning, to like get settled with my homies and like see this friend of mine that I was visiting before you came.
Yeah.
And then having it just be like me being bedridden and like sweating in her sheets hella and like just being disgusting and like a little creature.
Yeah, you made your own nest.
That sucked. That sucked. But that's okay. That's a thorn, and it was over. You know what? It was over at a certain point, and so it's fine.
Yes.
But my rose, that's a much harder question to answer. That's like, I think for whatever reason, it's not necessarily this exact moment itself that was like the single best moment, but for whatever reason when we were having dinner at El Mercado and we like had a nice bottle of wine, El Enemigo, a Malbec, just for the notes, and for whatever reason, like having that steak and kicking it with you and enjoying that meal, that was like a moment where I really felt truly grateful to be out here. So
yeah, that was fire, man. Shout out Denise. Denise hooked us up.
Yeah, for real.
Little restaurant.
Bro is the Resi Rizzler.
Little restaurant action over at El Mercado, over at the Faena.
Yes, sir.
That was fire.
I loved it.
I agree. You got your fit off with your jacket with the collared shirt on.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah. It's nice when things, you get a little buzz on and you start thinking about your trip and you're excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about mine for I think we share the same thorn.
Yeah. Again, I'm terribly sorry.
We got this shit on our hands, bro. This shit does not look necessarily appealing.
It's some freak shit for sure.
Some Freddy Krueger shit.
Yeah, like The Last of Us, like yeah.
But anyhow, let me think about my rose.
It's a hard question to answer. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a hard question to answer. I think see, I really like driving around with Marcos and Iguazu.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because that would have been like my second pick.
We had a driver in Iguazu who was an exceptional man. His name was Marcos, and he put us on to game. And we saw some Kawati. I don't even know if that's how you say it, to be honest. I think it might be Kawatia, maybe.
Kawati, yeah,
Kawati,
something like that. I think
whatever.
I think we got
some monos.
I think we got
Kawati. Pretty good little animals there. So I think that would be something. Honestly, last night was pretty funny. Going in and enjoying a steak that I think should have been shared.
Yeah. It took me a second to remember that. I like blocked it out.
That was like the biggest steak ever.
That was a good moment.
Oh, another good moment. Kicking it with Ezekiel at the hotel.
Yeah.
That guy was chill.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. I kind of feel like it's really as much as the people as you meet as opposed to the places you go, in the sense of like,
yes.
When I think about my favorite times, yeah, Guazú Falls was beautiful, but
yeah,
at the same time, like Marcos kind of made it.
I agree.
He made it what it was.
I agree. I think no shade to the people of Spain, but a lot of things have been similar to my experiences here, except, to be honest, the people have been a lot nicer. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't even have to qualify that as a comparison, but the people have been very nice to us here, and that has made a huge difference for sure. Ezekiel was like the first to do it.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, he was just a homie.
He was a homie.
He was just waiting for me to shut up the whole time.
No, he liked talking to you, I think. Do you think that when you speak Spanish, does it sound like broken, like someone speaking like broken
I always
English?
wonder that. I always imagine that, like, I think I'm really spitting, and then it probably, I would imagine it sounds like, yeah, like almost.
Do you have an accent? I mean, you have to.
Oh, I have an accent, but that part I wonder too, because I had a hell of people saying that I sounded like a Spaniard on this trip.
Yeah.
But by the end of this trip, I'm like speaking with a little bit more of the like Argentinian thing. I think I tend to do that. I'm like a fucking master code. Well, not a master. I'm just like a massive code switcher. Like and like, yeah, I wonder what it sounds like, because I feel like it just sounds off to people. Like they just like can't figure out what the fuck I'm like, where I'm from. Until I slip up and they're like, "Oh, he's just a dumb American." Like that. That must be it.
So, do you think, are you happy with your level of Spanish from this trip? Do you think that Spain kind of laced you up?
Yeah.
And you got some good words and some good frases in.
Yeah, dude, going on a date in Spanish was like a very proud moment for me. I like did not think I would have that in me. And honestly, I was asking hella questions. Like I couldn't figure out how to say shit, but it was a good, like, that was a good milestone to hit.
Were there times where you didn't know what the other person was saying?
Yes. Sometimes when I'm being prideful and I'm like trying to pretend like I know way better Spanish than I do.
Yeah.
I really get ready and like spit a sentence super fast, and then unfortunately they think, oh, so he must like speak well, and then they just actually just go off, and I have no idea what they said, and I have to like catch up. But you know, I don't know. Okay, so what about you? What's your Spanish journey looking like moving forward?
I know essentially fuck all. So I think that I really am going to need to like dig in, man. I think that I have a basic understanding of the structure, but just given the type of person I am, a lot of the times in school just did what I had to do to get a decent grade in the class, as opposed to actually trying to learn anything. Yeah. Which at this point is coming back to bite me, because I don't know how to speak hardly anything. So I start classes on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully that's a good experience. The person hasn't hit me back about the class size yet.
Oh, boy.
But if I go
They're
up
like
there,
sweating like, fuck, there's like 3 people in a row.
If I go up there to the 8th floor and they extort me for $220, that wouldn't be very chill.
Anything could happen on the 8th floor.
I mean, the 8th, listen, if there's one elevator up, one elevator down, they kind of got you in a bind.
Cash only for
Cash
the 220.
Only. So
I think it'll go great.
Yeah, hopefully it's nice, man. I mean, it's listed as like a thing. I can't find it on Apple Maps, which is a little concerning.
Apple Maps sucks, though.
I'm gonna have
bad
to use
here.
Google Maps. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to. I think that'll have the most direct improvement in my quality of life.
Yeah,
like people are nice here. I don't think people really speak a bunch of English.
No,
so
not really.
and people are like, they're not I don't get the feeling that they're judging me for not knowing Spanish, but if they don't speak English and I can hardly speak Spanish, then we're not going to be able to communicate on a real level. And the purpose of this trip is to to experience human connection, in different areas. So, and these areas happen to be Spanish speaking.
Yeah. Is there a reason that you feel going on this trip and getting out of the States and trying to connect with people out here is going to be different or particularly like enlightening for you as opposed to just trying to connect with people back at home more?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that you can do what you do during travel in your own home city, which is look at it with fresh eyes and experience it that way. But I think it's a little bit easier to be somewhere else. It just offers you kind of a different perspective and may make you a little bit more open. To whereas if I'm in my home city, I have my friends there, right? I'm open to meeting certain people.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a baby. Like I am not like a wide-eyed kind of like baby.
Yeah,
like
right.
looking to meet a bunch of people. So and it's just exciting. It's a new thing. I really would appreciate like coming back with a little understanding of the language and everything. So that's an added bonus.
But you will, for sure.
Yeah. And so when you get back, you're going to get a burrito first and foremost.
100%. I've been missing that shit.
You've been missing the Mexican food in California, huh?
Yeah, I really have. That's one thing. Took a fat sip of mate.
Oh, the mate's bitter as shit.
The pumpkin didn't give it some nice flavor.
Dude, this pumpkin is going in the trash here soon.
No, dude.
Look at how green it is, bro.
It's supposed to be that color.
You said it looked gross.
I mean, yeah, but it's traditional.
It's a traditional pumpkin gourd.
Yeah.
Little word to the wise, if you're going to...
You can put that as like the thumbnail.
If you're gonna buy a mate cup, think twice about a gourd.
Just get a fucking stainless steel one.
Just get a stainless steel one. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better.
This girl fucking trying to convince us that that's like the
traditional way.
Everyone does it this way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe in like
maybe I should ride a horse too.
Like the 1600s.
Unbelievable. So, what do you think you're gonna?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna build any sort of some music based on this trip?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, like last week, or like I guess at the beginning of this week, I like for whatever reason was feeling really inspired, which has been rare recently. I have been super on a hiatus musically. And feeling like it just kind of sucks, and like having it become my work kind of made it miserable, and being out here and not having even the opportunity to like make any, but like hearing a lot of cool music and like having a lot of cool emotional experiences, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of like putting on the boiling up the like creative pressure until it's like gonna eventually like boil over, and maybe then I'll like make something. That's a good I got in touch with a couple of people that like I want to get right in the studio with when I get back, and they were like, why are you hitting me up so far in advance? Like I have no idea what I'm doing in like 2 weeks, but I just like really I'm excited. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be making anything like directly inspired by like the culture or anything.
You're not going to make the cambio song?
Cambio. Yeah, dude. You know what I might do though? I might hit up Santi.
Yeah,
I actually kind of want to make a song with them. I would love to make like a fucking Latin rap song, dude. That would be fucking sick.
I need to hit up Santi as well.
Yeah, he was for the pod for the background.
Tell the people who Santi is.
guy that we met at this show, my friend Chloe put us on this show where they basically, you go to the club and they have a bunch of musicians that get up and just like improv, like some super dope music that's like hella danceable, very exciting. And then they have like vocalists come up and just like spit some random shit. And DJs in between, and it was sick. And we met this guy named Santi here, and he's a aspiring local rapper.
Yeah,
and he kind of was spitting. He was a homie, and yeah,
flow.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe you're gonna hit your Latin music arc,
bro.
You ever try to produce a Latin music song before?
No, not at all. But that's why I kind of want to try. So maybe that's the answer to your question. Maybe this is what will inspire me to like try some new shit there. Get in touch with it, like tap in with the scene here.
Tommy on the drums.
I mean, dude. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Santi is like that tapped in with the industry out here, but he could be.
He's tapped.
What's
your do you find that like the bass lines and stuff because you're more of a piano keys and guitar guy, and you hit the bass guitar, but when you're making music, right, like let's say you're producing a beat, do you find it hard to make the bass line because your first instrument was not like drums or something like that? You know what I mean?
Well, I guess keys is good because you still have to play like a left hand. So
and is the left hand the bass?
Yeah. So that helps a lot.
I know nothing about it.
Well, I mean, shit. That being said, it's a whole different thing. Like if you talk to a bassist or a drummer, like, the biggest thing is drums for me. Like I've always like started making my music through the like melodic like way of I don't know what I'm trying to say. I've always started songs like melodically, where I start with like a melody or a chord progression, some like keys or something. But recently my homie put me on starting with drums. And I feel like low-key, like for this type of music, low-key for any kind of hip-hop or like rap or anything like that, it's all about the rhythm. The melodic elements. You look like you're really enjoying that mate, man.
It's disgusting, bro.
Dude, you can't say that.
Fuck it.
This is like the whole thing here. Enjoy it.
Anyway, go out there.
Jesus Christ, enjoy it. Disrespectful ass. Anyways.
Okay.
No, but yeah, my friend put me on doing drums first, and I feel like for any like hip hop, and especially like all the like hip hop stuff, but also Latin music, like both rely heavily on rhythm.
Right.
Of course, low key, like now a lot of the like Latin music scene has gotten really fucking oversaturated with the reggaeton rhythm, like that classic, like. But there are ways to make that better. Like there are ways to like change that up. So I'd be interested in trying to like get creative with that. That's like harder for me for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm like just interested in melodies. And the other thing is too, like a lot of, again, I don't have like any ground to stand on with this or like speak on this. I'm no expert, but like also there's a lot of this like Latin music that has gotten into the same like chord progressions and shit. Like there's in like the mainstream stuff, like some of the variety has been lacking a little bit. There's some people doing different shit. Like you put me on the Bizarre Rap session with Peso Pluma. That shit's dope. Tiny also doing dope shit. And so like there's potential. There's so much potential. And like I feel like Spanish is such a dope language for like rapping. Like it was like made for it in a way.
Super dope.
Because it's so like flowy. So I want to see what Santi could drop. I want to like, I don't know, man. It would be a good challenge.
Yeah, you should tap in with him. I kind of feel like outside of the U.S., Latin America is the next biggest music country. But
like kind of scene.
Yeah, music scene. Like,
well, dude, some of these fucking Latin artists are like massive, like bigger than some, like you think like American artists are big, and then you look at like the numbers that like Raul Alejandro is doing, and it's like, oh shit, like
Karol G,
because they're like global, you know, like hella global. Like in Europe, global. They were bumping all that shit. I mean,
really,
yeah, heavy. I mean, I was in Spain most of the time, but even outside of Spain, like in Germany,
Really?
It was like reggaeton clubs only. Like,
yeah, people love
Yeah.
reggaeton, bro.
yeah.
It's I wonder if someone's gonna come in and revolutionize reggaeton.
I don't know.
Maybe you, bro.
Yeah. The fucking white boy pulling up and fucking changing the scene. Actually, I have something to say about this.
You should get some drums going, man.
Yeah.
I think also I hope that you get the new stuff for your studio that you want. I know that you mentioned that you wanted what was it?
Like a new keyboard, maybe.
A new keyboard, some new monitors.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice, but
maybe honestly it's about just putting in the hours in there.
Yeah.
Right when you get back.
Maybe. That's what's gonna happen. And like, shit, man, I'm gonna have to put in some fucking hours after spending the last 2 weeks just kind of like
eating,
fucking around,
out.
Eating and like going, like, oh, like what should we do? We'll eat a meal and then we walk around and then we're like, damn, I'm hungry. Like 3 hours later,
eating a bunch of Media Luna. Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been good. I'm gonna miss you, man. But
I'm gonna miss you a lot.
Here's the thing: is that we're both living our lives.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to part ways at this moment. But I wonder when we'll see each other next. When do you think, if you had to guess? You think I'll come home for Christmas?
I'll be home for Christmas. I don't know. That's a good question.
I like Christmas, bro.
I could see it. I don't know, though. I could see you, like, getting locked in here and, like, having this kind of, like, group and community and, like, life that you develop here. And maybe you'll want to stay longer. Like, honestly, it's who's to say, really? And that's kind of intimidating, but it's also a beautiful thing. Like, I'm sure you're going to make a ton out of this experience. And even though I would be terrified to be in your shoes, and I'm sure it's intimidating, like we were kind of talking about this, and I think it's really true that, like, if you put a little bit of that effort out, a little bit of that goodwill out into the world and, like, take some chances, push yourself, like, it will come back and reward you in the long run.
Let me ask you something, man. We don't necessarily need to wrap it up ASAP, but you do need to leave here in a sec. So let me ask you a question, not to put you on the spot. Do you have any sort of wisdom or anything you can instill on our listeners here?
Oh, wow.
Do you think what is something that you've adopted, whether it be earlier in your life, later in your life, or recently, that is something that you think was a good framework to live by and has helped you live a more happy and healthy life? It could be, it could be something with physical fitness. It could be something about learning. It could be something about, how to interact with people on a personal level. It could be anything. It could be a song, anything that you like. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. Just drop a little wisdom on the people here, and instill that in them until we get on the next one, man. Because all
right,
I want a pod. We'll get a full length guy.
Yeah, we'll
going
revisit this sometime.
We'll revisit
after
it
you've traveled far and wide.
After I've traveled far and wide. After you produced the #1 reggaeton hit of the summer.
Yeah, which I have very few intentions of doing.
As an aside,
yeah,
I think that this summer, well, I guess summer's already kind of over, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
let me say this:
month.
2025.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a Billboard #1 Latin American song.
Yeah. No doubt. Has that not happened already? That's never happened? Are you serious?
I don't know if it's never happened, but maybe Bailando Sola.
Dude, Bad Bunny hasn't had some, like, Billboard.
They get close. People get close.
That seems crazy.
I think it's typically Latin American.
Yeah. They're hitting, like, the top of charts here, but not.
Yeah.
But, dude,
and
they
they'll
must
hit
be
top
close.
10 and top 5 in the United States as well. But
yeah.
I could fact check myself on that. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know either.
Anyhow,
I just know it's popular.
Drop
Shit.
a little wisdom on us, man.
Okay. Well, I'll do my two-pronged thing. When I was younger,
Tenedor.
there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tenedor of wisdom here. But just a two-pronged tenedor.
Yeah, see.
All right. When I was younger, the thing that like has helped me that I learned then that I've held on to is, this is probably cliche, but gratitude. Mm-hmm. Like, I think my life has improved a lot, or my outlook on life has improved a lot since I made an effort to like daily like write down shit that I'm grateful for after the day. I do it like every day. And well, honestly, I've been lacking a little with that on this trip because like when I'm away, I just like, I don't know, my like iCloud doesn't sync right. It's like some bullshit. So I just don't bother. Yeah. And honestly, I can feel the difference. Like I feel less happy when I'm not consistent with that, because I think like being grateful for shit is the only way to like, it casts out a little bit of stability amidst what is ultimately just a very unstable experience of like being alive. Like shit is never going to be so that stable. Like there's always shit happening, ups and downs, but gratitude is a great way to just keep yourself kind of like, it gives you some shock absorbers. I heard someone say that once about something else, but it like gives you shock absorbers on life in a way, because as long as you know what you're grateful for, it can kind of keep you centered amidst the changes of life. So that's one.
That's nice.
And then two, not to get ranting too much, but two is a more recent thing that we have talked about a bit, and I think is very relevant to your travels here, which is I really believe that one of the most essential things to being happy as a person is to have purpose for your life. And when you're younger, that's easy. It's not really a concern because it's kind of externally imposed. You go to college, you want to go to college, you want to get a job, whatever it is. Like you just know that's your purpose and you worry about the rest later. But then when you get to this age and you are realizing, okay, now I have to figure that out, you realize that purpose is no longer given to you. It's entirely up to you to decide. And it's all too easy to just say, well, I'll just kind of not. Like that's too much. That's intimidating to figure all that out. And you can really like get lost in anxiety and depression of all of that. But at the end of the day, you need purpose to keep your will to live strong. And that means reflecting on what's important to you, and it means acting on what's important to you too. So like for me, I don't know what's going to happen in the long run with my career or whatever, but one thing that's kept me going over the last like year or so is I was able to definitively say like the people in my life are the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And so a huge part of my purpose is just to be able to spend time with them and take care of the people I love. And just having that is enough to keep me going in a way. And, you know, like here we are. I'm spending time with someone that I love, you know, and we're enjoying these new experiences together. And that's something that I have decided to assign a lot of value to in my life. And because of that, I'm super happy to be getting to do it with you. So
fuck yeah. Those were two good prongs to that tenedor, man.
Thank you.
Two good prongs. Well,
what about you though, before you wrap it up? Because I'm curious as you're going into your journey here, like let me change up the question a little.
Okay.
What do you think your guiding philosophy is going to be going into this, you know, next, like after today, you're going to be out here on your own, starting your new life. What do you think you want your guiding philosophy to be as you start that?
I would like to lead my life with love. I would like to, whether it's a smile on my face when I meet somebody, or a small act, even as small as just holding the door, or, you know, letting someone go in front of me, or it could be something bigger, you know. But I would like to lead my life with love, because I have seen some people here that I think would do that, and it makes people feel good, and I think it's a good way to live. And so I just that's kind of all encompassing, lead with love, but like part of that is being, I think, open and showing the world who you are, and also being accepting of who they are, and within that acknowledging what they need and doing what you can to accommodate that on some level, and acknowledging kind of their existence. And I think that that's probably the most important thing for me. And I just want to not be consumed with fear.
Yeah.
And I want to have a brave, loving excursion into this world and greet those around me with open arms.
That's amazing. And I think that you are that kind of person. You're a very naturally loving and caring guy. I think people will... You don't agree with that?
I do.
That was you did the thing.
Yeah, I know.
The mate lady taught us that doing that with the straw, that slurping, means that you disapprove of what someone is saying.
That was good timing, huh?
Yeah, well, fuck me, I guess. But
no,
you are. You're a very loving person. I think that will be received by people out here, and I look forward to hearing about the community that you start to build.
Yeah, when we do
the new life you got here.
When we do part 2,
yeah,
we'll see where we're at with everything.
Dude, I'm so excited for you.
Cheers, man. Love you. Thank you for doing this with me.
Love you too.
See ya.